All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it. Always excited to dig into these topics.
Well, today we're diving into GenF20 Plus. You know that article from topnaturalhealth.com?
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Lots of buzz around that supplement.
Yeah, and hey, listeners, if this deep dive piques your interest, don't forget to check out topnaturalhealth.com. They've got a special promo code running. Before you jump on that, let's find out if GenF20 Plus lives up to the hype. Fountain of youth or just clever marketing.
Right. Got to cut through the noise and see what's really going on.
Exactly. So GenF20 Plus, it's marketed as this natural HGH releaser, right? Comes in both pill and spray form.
Interesting.
The article really seemed to target it towards men specifically, like guys who are looking for that extra edge, maybe don't want to go the injection route.
Makes sense, yeah. Human growth hormone, or HGH, it does naturally decline as we age. That impacts a ton of stuff, how our bodies bounce back after a workout, even our body composition in general.
Which is probably why there's a whole market for products promising to boost it, right?
Yeah.
But before we go any further, what is HGH exactly? I mean, I know it has something to do with like growth and stuff, but...
Well, yeah. I mean, think of it this way. HGH is like your body's construction crew. It's in charge of building and repairing tissues, especially muscle tissue.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when you're young, right, your HGH levels are naturally higher, you recover from injuries faster, build muscle more easily, you have that youthful energy.
So what GenF20 is trying to do is give that construction crew a raise, basically, like more resources, more manpower.
Yeah, that's the idea they're going for. The million-dollar question is, does it actually work? To figure that out, we really need to look at the ingredients list. See what the science says.
Perfect, because the article rattles off a bunch of them. GABA, deer velvet antler. I gotta say, some of these sound like they belong in a medieval potion.
Right. It's like pick your fantasy RPG buff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's start with GABA. I know it's often found in, like, sleep supplements, but what's the link to HGH?
Okay, so GABA, think of it as a volume knob for your natural HGH production. See, when you sleep deeply, your body releases growth hormone.
Right.
Some studies suggest that GABA can turn that volume knob up just a bit, leading to a slightly higher output of HGH.
So you're saying a good night's sleep, maybe helped by some GABA, might lead to a little HGH boost?
Potentially, yeah. But, and this is key, the research is still kind of iffy on how much that actually translates to, like, noticeable results in the gym.
Okay, so maybe not a magic muscle pill. What about this deer velvet antler business? That one sounds intense.
Yeah, it's definitely got a ring to it. Deer velvet antler, it contains something called IGF-1. It's a growth factor, kind of like a cousin to insulin, and it plays a role in surprise, growth, and development.
So good for building muscle, maybe?
Potentially, yeah. Some people even think it helps with joint health inflammation. But the big question with GenF20 specifically is whether the amount of deer velvet antler they use is enough to make a real difference.
That seems to be the theme, huh? The science is kind of whispering, not shouting.
Yeah, it's like, we see a potential connection, but we need more research, more data to connect the dots.
Well, speaking of connecting dots, that article made some pretty bold claims about GenF20's benefits, right? Increased muscle, faster fat loss, even speedier recovery.
Yeah, they weren't shy about it.
Are those claims even remotely true? We'll unpack those and more when we come back on the next deep dive.
Ready to dig into those GenF20 Plus benefits? See if they hold up.
Oh, you know I am. Last time we were talking about how some of the ingredients, maybe they have potential, but that topnaturalhealth.com article, by the way, listeners, promo code if you're interested, they went in on the benefits, like muscle gain, fat loss, faster recovery, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they were painting a pretty rosy picture, weren't they?
Totally. So let's start with that fat loss angle.
Yeah.
Does HGH even play a role there?
It does, but it's indirect. Not like HGH directly attacks fat cells or anything, though. That'd be awesome.
Right. Sign me up for that.
But studies show HGH can influence something called lipolysis. It's like, imagine your fat cells. They're little storage units for energy, right? HGH can signal those units to open up, start releasing that energy.
Okay, so it unlocks the fat burning potential, makes it available for your body to use.
Exactly. And this is where GenF20 Plus tries to tie it all together. Remember they mentioned GTF chromium.
Yep, that was in the ingredients list. Isn't chromium something bodybuilders are into?
You'll see it in a lot of sports nutrition products. Chromium, it's a trace mineral, helps regulate blood sugar.
Ah, okay, so stable blood sugar, fewer cravings, fewer energy crashes, that all ties into weight management.
Bingo. And there have even been some studies, small ones, but linking GTF chromium to increased lean muscle mass and reduced body fat.
But more research is needed.
Always. It's like we're putting together a puzzle, but we're still missing a few pieces, you know?
Yeah.
You see the connections, but more data is key.
Speaking of puzzles, what about this recovery claim? The article was really harping on that, like GenF20 Plus will have you bouncing back from workouts like a superhero.
Well, there is something to that, but it's not the whole story. Remember, we talked about HGH being the construction crew.
Rebuilding those muscles.
Right. So when you work out, you're creating tiny tears in your muscle fibers. That soreness you feel, that's your body saying, hey, repair time.
And HGH is part of that repair process.
Exactly. It helps rebuild those fibers stronger than before. So theoretically, if GenF20 Plus really does boost HGH, yeah, it could mean faster muscle repair, faster recovery overall. But, and this is a big but, other factors matter too, right? Sleep, nutrition, stress levels. You can't just pop a pill and ignore everything else.
Can't outrun a bad diet, as they say.
Exactly. So could boosting HGH help with recovery? Maybe. Is it the be-all, end-all solution? Probably not.
Okay, so we've got some potential links to fat loss, maybe some recovery benefits, all thanks to HGH's role in the body. But this article, they went even further. They claimed GenF20 Plus can boost energy, stamina. Like you'll be running marathons in your sleep.
Yeah, that's where I start to get a little skeptical. I mean, HGH does have a role in energy production, but it's not the only factor.
So not going to turn me into a Duracell bunny.
Probably not, no. Our energy levels, they're affected by so many things. Sleep, what we eat, stress, even our gut health factors in. It's unlikely that just upping your HGH, even if GenF20 does that, would make this huge, noticeable difference.
Okay, so mixed bag so far. Some intriguing possibilities with GenF20, but also some potential exaggerations. But there's one big claim we haven't tackled yet, the big one.
The fountain of youth promise.
GenF20 Plus and anti-aging, does it really work? We'll find out what the science says when we come back on the deep dive. All right, deep divers, we're back. Last leg of our GenF20 Plus journey. We've talked ingredients, potential benefits, even touched on some creative marketing tactics.
Trying to separate the science from the spin. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that topnaturalhealth.com article, the one that inspired this whole deep dive, it saved the biggest claim for last, right? The anti-aging angle. GenF20 Plus, turning back the clock, all that good stuff.
That always grabs people's attention.
So is there any truth to it? Like, scientifically speaking, what's the connection between HGH and aging anyway?
Well, one thing that happens as we age, and we can all relate to this, I'm sure, is that collagen production slows down.
Collagen, right. Keeps our skin all firm, bouncy, youthful.
Exactly. Gives that elasticity. And guess what's involved in collagen production?
Let me guess. HGH. Starting to see how they connect the dots here.
Right. So in theory, and that's doing a lot of work there, if GenF20 Plus actually boosts HGH like they claim, it could potentially lead to a little more collagen, healthier looking skin. Maybe.
Big maybe, though, right? I mean, we've talked about the research on GenF20. It's not exactly rock solid.
Exactly. And even if it does boost HGH, we got to remember, aging is complicated. It's not just one thing, right? Genetics, lifestyle, what you're exposed to in the environment.
It's not like those wrinkle creams promising to erase 20 years overnight.
Yeah. Sadly, those don't really work either. So, could someone see some benefit? Maybe a bit more elasticity, fewer fine lines? Sure, it's possible. But will it completely reverse aging? Not a chance.
Managing expectations is key, folks. You know, one thing that stuck out to me in that top natural health article was how much they hammered the whole 100% natural angle. Oh, and that money back guarantee, 67 days.
Ah, yes, the old natural buzzword. Very popular in the supplement world.
So what's the deal with that? Is it just marketing or?
I mean, it's definitely a marketing tactic. Natural sounds good, right? Safe, pure, people like that. But we all know plenty of natural things are not so great for you.
Poison ivy comes to mind.
Exactly. As for the money-back guarantee, I mean, it can be a good thing for consumers, right? Take some of the risk away.
Like, hey, if it doesn't work, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. But it can also be a way to boost sales. People might be more likely to try something if they feel like they can get their money back, you know?
Makes sense. So, big picture, where do we land on GenF20 Plus? We've covered a lot of ground here.
Right. We've looked at the ingredients, how they're supposed to work, the claims about benefits, the whole 9 yards.
And I think it's important to say, neither of us are doctors.
Right.
We're not saying go buy GenF20 or run away from it.
Exactly. We're all about giving you the information, the context to make your own choices.
Informed choices.
Right. And the bottom line with GenF20 Plus is, well, there are ingredients in there that have shown some promise in some studies, but the research is early. A lot of those studies, they're small. More research is always needed.
And like we keep saying, So many things affect our bodies. How we age, how we build muscle, our energy levels. It's complex. A supplement, even a natural one, it's not a magic bullet.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about trying GenF20 Plus, talk to your doctor. They can look at your individual needs. Maybe there are risks. Maybe it interacts with something else you're taking. They're the best resource.
100%. Well, there you have it, listeners. Another deep dive in the books. We explored GenF20 Plus, peeled back the layers, maybe busted a few myths along the way.
Always fun to separate fact from fiction.
And remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our health. So keep asking questions, keep digging deeper, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.